Hello and welcome back to TylerTeacher Craft. Today our episode is about story structure. What is story structure, you might be saying? Well, today we're going to learn all about story structure. So we know what story means, right? But what does structure mean? So today we're going to learn about structure and how it applies to story structure. Hello, and welcome to my creative world where we are going to get to the bottom of the three elements of story structure. So what are those three elements? First, characters. Second, setting. And third, plot. So what do each of these things mean? Character, setting, and plot. So let's take a look as applies to how to build a building. Alright, come with me. So, in a story, when we talk about characters, we're talking about the who. Who is in a story, right? If I say, who's in that story, you're going to tell me the characters. So, just like a building needs walls, characters need to be a part of the story. So, we could have one character, we could have two characters, we can have three characters, we can have four characters, or even more. But as you can see, just like these buildings, each choice we make is going to change the story. Each of these stories or buildings is going to look different. But we have to have at least one character in our story. So we've got our walls, which are representing our characters. Now we're going to add the roof and the floors, and these are going to be what we consider the setting. So the setting is when and where the story is happening. When and where. So they're going to have the roof and the floor, when and where. Alright, so we can have the setting for this one. It's going to look different for this story than the setting for this one, right? The roof and the floor look different. Different settings. And over here, roof and floor look different. Different settings. And the roof and floor, which we can't see. There we go. Roof and floor look different for that one. Now, we've got our characters, which is our walls. We've got our setting, which is our roof and floor. So, are we finished? Are we done making our houses? No, you can see there's something very wrong with all of these houses. Right? Creepers can walk right in here. So, what are we missing? We're missing our plot, which we'll get to next. So what is the plot? The plot is what and why in a story. So what happens and why does it happen? So in a building, the what are we looking at? What's happening? That's when we enter through the doors and we look through the windows. So we've added our doors and windows for our plot, and now we've got our three parts of our build. Story structure, characters, the wall, setting, the floors and the roof, and the plot, which is the windows and doors. Same with this one, right? Now, we have different buildings here, right? Just like different stories, but they all have these same elements. Walls, doors, windows, floors, and roof. Same with this one. Different house, different feel, but walls, windows, doors, floors, roof, and this one over here, same thing. Same structure elements, just like a story structure needs all three of the elements. We've got our characters, the walls, we've got our setting, the floors and the roof, and we've got our plot, which is windows and doors, so we know what's going on around us, right? All right, so are we completely done now? Well, we've got our structure now, right? We've got our story structure. We've got the basics of a story. But as you can see in there, What are we missing? And what does your teacher always ask for in your writing, no doubt, in your story? Details, right? We're missing our details. Now, we have our basic framework for each of these houses, right? Different styles of story, right? We've got different types of stories here. 4 different types of stories. Now, what are the details of that story? That's going to be everything that we put in and around our houses, right? That's going to give us our details, which will make better stories. So now we have the basis of a story right here, right? Characters, setting, plot. So what are we going to put inside of it? What are all the actions and details that happen in our story? That's going to be all the details for our house, right? So you can see we have the basic structure of all the houses, but we're still missing the details that make each of these stories more unique and better, right? So let's take a look at some ideas that we can add. A little bit of extra details. Okay, so we've added some details. Now our story is starting to come to life. So remember, we have our structure. Now we've added our details, right? So there's the first one. Got an infinity pool, some bamboo wall, some interior work, sofa and everything. Those are details, and this is what makes a story unique. We have the structure, which can be different with each story, and then we add details, which is why we have so many different kinds of stories. Every little detail can be different to change a story. And we got over here, our next one, we've got sort of a traditional garden with trees along the side. We've got a bedroom, living room, and we've got a cinema. And over here we've got a pool out front, living room in there. We've got an outdoor area with a bamboo wall and a grill. And we've got a pool on the roof as well. All right, so you can see it from underneath. Each of these details is what changes the story, right? Remember, every story has the structure, characters, setting, and plot, right? Which are the walls, windows, doors, roof, and everything like that. And then we add our details. And then our final one is the cabin in the woods. So we've created the woods. Little fire pit out here. And a walk coming up to the doors. And inside we've got a nice table and sofa looking out on our berry bushes. Alright, so each one of these is telling a different kind of story, right? The structure has changed, the details have changed, and we get different types of stories out of them. So, just to remind ourselves, so story structure, the characters, setting, and plot are how we build a story. Just like walls, ceilings, roofs, and windows are how we build a house, right? All right. Welcome back to my survival world. This is the end of part 1 of story structure. I hope you learned about story structure, characters, setting, and plot. Remember, 3 parts must be a part of every story, but each part can be changed, right? So we can have different kinds of characters, different kinds of settings, and different kinds of plots. But those are the walls, windows, and doors of the story, right? It's necessary to have it for a story, just like we need those things to build a house, like the one behind me. What story do you think that one is trying to tell? All right, well, I hope you learned everything you need to know about story structure, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.